Cafe Nigeria with the theme True Value of Learning. Please, can you shed more light on this conference?
Yes, this is a conference that is meant to bring our customers who have moved into alternative ways of learning together, as well as potential customers, to come and appreciate the true value of learning, to come and look at the different initiatives around how we can measure learning to ensure that learning is indeed effective, because organizations need to see value for money they spend in developing their people. And so for that reason, organizations need to begin to look at different measures on how they can ensure that they're getting value for the different initiatives around developing people. The bottom line for most organizations is, does learning add to my profitability? So how can those in the learning and development department demonstrate that the learning that they are spending millions and millions of naira of organizations, earnings in giving to employees has a connection with the bottom line of organizations? That is indeed the crux of the matter. And organizations need to be able to demonstrate by using strategic measures that indeed learning has a connection and is aligned to the strategic objectives of the business.
Things have moved on rapidly to the stage now where we are at that e-learning stage, where we're talking of us leading or doing things at the edge of learning and training and development. And with our e-learning offerings, you'll find that we're doing a lot of bespoke work, which really keeps our guys busy, because we're saying that, look, let's teach people through electronic format those things that are important to you as an organization. So from your induction program to processes to how you do things that are very peculiar to your organization, we actually customize this and present them in an e-learning format that allows you to do things in a manner that is not just generic. And we're extremely busy with things of that nature.
My name is Jeremie Ferre. I'm a GM, General Manager, Africa Channel for LRMG Performance Agency based in South Africa. We've been in this business for 15 years. We're a consulting organization in line with management consulting, learning consulting, and technology consulting. And we've been running a lot of e-learning shows throughout and events throughout the African continent over the past, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years. And cafe is our concept. So you probably were kind of surprised when you received the invite, say, what is this cafe concept? Are we going to kind of an event where they're going to tell us about the new brand of coffee that is available on the market? Or what is it going to, are we going to learn how to brew coffee maybe? No, cafe is actually a much more simple concept. It's the Customer Advisory Forum event, and we've been running this event for a few years now. There is a little bit some brands of this Pan-African event concept, the Cafe Africa 2012 last year in Johannesburg, the Cafe Indian Ocean that took place in Mauritius in March as well, and the Cafe Ghana 2013 that will take place in 2 days in Accra.
Why is it important to develop our leaders? Anybody? Yes, my dear. To chart the future? Absolutely, to chart the future. That's a perfect example. Yes? Sustainability, absolutely. Yes, sir. For transformation, absolutely.
To drive strategy?
Yes, indeed. Deploy strategy.
Continuous improvement.
Absolutely, continuous improvement. Excellent. Manage changes. These are great statements. You are there. I wondered. Right, now we're going to have some fun. Financial return, of course. The biggest financial return you can have is by educating your managers to do things properly so everybody else does things well. Have you heard the old adage, people join companies and leave managers? Well, we don't want that to happen, do we? It's not a good thing. Employee satisfaction and retention. All right, that's what we do this for, to make sure that our employees are going to stay with us. Positive reputation in the marketplace. If we don't educate our managers correctly, the reputation of the organisation diminishes constantly. Ease of recruiting desirable employees. The whole point is, if you have not got an education process in place, people know that. And people don't want to come to work for you. It's quite simple. The one that does have something in place, that's where they will go, especially today's millennials. They are not interested in a company that's not going to move them forward. Actually, they're not interested in a company that's not going to make them the vice president of whatever it is before they start. All right? Am I right?
A lot of organisations are looking to break out of the straitjacket of formal, structured learning, which is both inflexible and costly. And many organisations have adopted a model called 70-20-10. And it's basically based on surveys and research that shows that around about 70% of what people learn to do their jobs well, they learn through experience and practice through doing their jobs. They learn about 20% through other people, through conversations, through having networks, through knowing the right people to ask the right question at the right time, and about 10% of learning in the workplace occurs formally. We've known for 126 years that the human brain doesn't retain a lot in terms of memory. Herman Ebbinghaus did research back in 1885, what is now known as the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve, that shows that any one of us will forget about half of what we've been told within an hour of being told it, unless we have the opportunity to put that into practice within that hour. And so therefore taking people out of the workplace, putting them through a formal structured class, we might even test them and assume that they know what to do because they passed the test, but put them back into the workplace and we find that actually the performance doesn't change. The reason that 70-20-10 has been taken up by so many organisations is that it overcomes two major problems with traditional training approaches. The first problem is cost. The second problem is timeliness. And organisations now expect the development of their people to run at the speed of business. And 70-20-10 helps organisations do just that. A lot of research has been shown that learning is all about context. And if you keep people in the workflow and provide them with facilities and support for learning, the learning is much more effective, it's faster, it's cost effective and efficient and effective. 70-20-10 requires people to think about the tools, practices and techniques that you're going to adopt outside of simply distributing information and running formal structured courses. So it requires managers to be involved in development because a lot of the 70 and 20, the experiential part of learning, has to be supported by managers in the workplace through new experiences, through the opportunity to practice, through exposure to new roles, new jobs, job swaps and so on and so forth. It also opens up whole new channels for learning. So, for example, the use of mobile technology, which is expanding rapidly. One of the questions I'm often asked is, if you're looking at a model like 70-20-10, you're obviously going to focus a lot more on what is called informal learning. And the question I'm often asked is, how do we manage that? And the answer to that is that that's the wrong question. You don't manage it. You can facilitate it, you can support it, you can help it happen, but actually you can't manage it. Basically, each of us individually manage our learning, and all we can do in terms of the 70-20-10 structure or any model that includes some sort of informal learning or self-directed learning is provide people with the right resources at the right time, through the right channel, and allow them to get on with it. And you'll never get a learning organisation if you're continually pushing content at people and expecting them to learn. Learning organisations only emerge once people, individuals, start to pull learning when they need it, where they need it, where it's going to be most effective for them, and when they've got problems to solve.
Basically, leadership development should be systemic in an organisation. It basically means that everyone in the organisation should be part of the leadership programme, right from the senior executive to the lowest employee in the organisation.
I think one of the interesting things about the life of our firm, and even generally the country as well, is the way and manner in which people have taken to the need to learn. I think we've been operating, like I said, for over 20 years now. And we've noticed that over that period, most organizations have moved increasingly from the traditional classroom type learning and training to something that is more electronic, that is very much more in tune with the digital world that we live in today.